Next time you go out to practice, work on hitting 3 trajectories with your sand wedge. You want to have a low trajectory shot, a mid trajectory shot, and a high trajectory shot. And what we're going to change to do this mainly is where we play the ball in our stance, and that creates a different shaft lean. So with the ball way back in my stance on a low trajectory shot, you can see that says 74. That's 16 degrees of shaft lean. Now with the ball more in the middle of my stance, you see 87, I have 3 degrees of shaft lean. So I have a lot more loft, and now I have some bounce in the club. And that bounce and loft, anytime you add bounce, you add loft. So when that ball is further back or further forward in our stance, that creates more loft in that club head. And the technique is pretty much the same. If we watch this low trajectory shot, we're going to see we're going to let the club head swing back. We're going to have our hand, the shaft, lean a little forward. And really all these shots about 3 inches past impact, we want that shaft angle to match the address shaft lean. And as you're going to see as I go through, club head's going to pass my hands a little bit. A low shot, we're going to finish with the club a little lower. Now with this mid trajectory shot, a little longer swing, hands and wrists set as I swing it. And notice as I come into the ball, this position right there, shaft about 3 inches past impact and pretty much on the same shaft lean as I had at address. And from here, the arms and hands are going to rotate and recock the club back up. So these shots are simply an open stance with an open club face. And when we play that ball more forward and don't have as much shaft lean, we have more bounce, we have more loft. And those are kind of shots we would play more for a longer bunker shot or for just kind of a mid-trajectory shot from the grass. And then the last one, this high trajectory shot, if we go back and look at address, now we have the ball way forward compared to the mid-trajectory. Ball's more forward. I even have the handle leaning back. The handle is on my zipper on this shot. And notice this shaft lean. The shaft is now about 87 degrees the other way. So I've added 6 degrees of loft by letting the handle or the shaft lean be 3 degrees backwards. That added a bunch of loft and bounce to this sand wedge. And when you watch me hit this, just like all these shots, when we hit it, we want to have our weight in our left side. We want to be hitting down. Notice I've shifted my weight. My head's in the same place. That looks like any shot I might hit. But because I'm trying to get this ball up in the air, my arms and hands are going to rotate that club head, and hands and wrists recock that club up, straight up going through. When we hit these shots from the grass, we tend to call this a flop shot, whereas this shot on the right just seems more like a comfortable swing. And just I'm going to swing the club back. Got that open stance, open club face, and I'm just going to let my arms and hands rotate as they go through, and the club head recock on the other side. So 3 different trajectories: low trajectory, mid trajectory, high trajectory. Next time you go out and practice, why don't you work on hitting 3 different trajectories with your sand wedge. And as we look at this shot from down the line, you can see the yellow line is the target line, or where we want the ball to land. The red line is the swing line. It's about 5 feet left at 20 yards. The black line is the club face aim line. That's where we want to aim this club face. Want to have it 5 feet to the right. You'll see in this swing that the club head is a little outside my hands going back, but it's extremely important to have this club on plane coming into the ball. That is perfectly on plane coming into the ball, and you can see the club head tracking on that red line because that's the swing line. And look at the club face rotate and turn over. See, this club face has rotated as it's gone through. So this is a pretty simple shot. You're making your golf swing, making sure that weight's in your left side, you're hitting down, and the big one is letting that club head release and go past your hands. I hope this video helps you with your short game and go out and work on these 3 trajectories and learn how to control that and learn how to control how much the ball rolls after it hits the ground. For more information, visit my website, LarryRinker.com.